What if the habits you've spent years trying to fix are actually signs that your mind works differently? Maybe people have called you eccentric, too analytical, too curious, or even obsessive. Maybe you've even started believing something was wrong with you. But here's what most people never realize. Some of the behaviors you've been trying to hide may actually reveal how your mind processes the world. Not every bad habit is a hidden strength, but some of them are. And by the end of this video, you might stop apologizing for parts of yourself that never needed fixing. This is the strange thing about intelligence. It rarely looks the way people expect. And that's why so many intelligent people spend years believing they're simply bad at being normal. Let's explore 7 habits that often get misunderstood. The first one surprises almost everyone. Sometimes the habit that feels like your biggest weakness is actually connected to the way your mind processes information. Your brain keeps replaying conversations, imagining different outcomes, and questioning decisions long after they're over. It's exhausting. And yes, when it goes too far, overthinking can become a trap. But before it becomes anxiety, it often starts as curiosity. Highly intelligent minds naturally search for patterns. They don't just accept the first explanation. They keep asking, what if there's something I'm missing? That's why they often notice problems before everyone else. The downside, a brain that's excellent at finding possibilities can also become excellent at finding risks. The difference is understanding when your mind is exploring and when it's simply exhausting itself. And that's where the next habit becomes interesting. Talking to yourself is an external expression of deep cognitive processing. Many people hide this. They whisper while thinking, rehearse conversations, or explain ideas out loud. Others assume it's strange, but talking to yourself can actually help organize complex thoughts. It's like taking a crowded room inside your mind and giving each thought a chance to speak clearly. Some of history's most creative thinkers used self-directed thinking to organize complex ideas, not because they were disconnected from reality, but because speaking their thoughts helped them process and refine ideas. Sometimes your best conversation is the one no one else hears. Sometimes boredom isn't a sign that your mind lacks discipline. Sometimes it's a sign that your brain is searching for something more challenging. You finally start something. 5 minutes later, your attention begins to drift. People may call you lazy, unfocused, or impossible to satisfy, but sometimes the problem isn't a lack of effort, it's a lack of challenge. Highly curious minds naturally crave novelty. Once you understand something, your excitement can quickly fade. Not because you can't commit, but because your brain is already searching for the next unanswered question. For many highly curious minds, routine can start to feel mentally empty. They don't just want repetition, they want problems worth solving. Because a mind that constantly searches for new questions is rarely satisfied with simple answers. And that leads to the next habit. The fourth habit is connected to a mind that naturally questions the world around it. You don't accept something simply because everyone else does. Rules, traditions, advice, and even experts all go through your internal filter. This can frustrate people. It may even make you seem argumentative, but questioning isn't the same as disrespect. Intelligent minds aren't satisfied with because that's how it's always been. They want reasons, evidence, logic. This comes from cognitive autonomy, the ability to examine information independently instead of simply absorbing what you're given. They don't just ask, is this what everyone believes? They ask, does this actually make sense? That mindset can challenge assumptions because curiosity often begins where acceptance ends. Think about the last time you disagreed with something. Were you trying to prove someone wrong, or were you trying to understand something more deeply? Because a curious mind isn't searching for conflict, it's searching for clarity. And that same need to understand leads to the next habit. The fifth habit is connected to the way some minds use solitude for deeper thinking. Some people immediately assume loneliness, others assume arrogance, but neither is necessarily true. Being alone gives your brain room to think, connect ideas, and reflect without constant interruption. Highly intelligent people often enjoy solitude, not because they dislike others, but because silence gives their thoughts space to breathe. The difference is understanding why you seek solitude. Some people withdraw because they fear judgment. others step away because their mind needs space to process, create, and recharge. And that distinction reveals something important about how your brain works, because the next habit challenges a belief most people never question.
The sixth habit is a form of intellectual humility. People often celebrate confidence, but they rarely celebrate flexibility. Imagine learning new information and refusing to accept it because it would make you look inconsistent. That's not strength, that's ego. Highly intelligent people understand something important. Changing your mind after discovering better evidence isn't weakness, it's growth. A strong mind is not focused on protecting an old opinion, it's focused on finding what is actually true. Because intelligence is not measured by how strongly you defend an idea, but by how willing you are to update it when reality proves you wrong. And that leads to the final habit. The seventh habit may be the most misunderstood of all. It's the feeling that you don't completely fit in. Many intelligent people spend years feeling slightly out of place. Not better than others, just different. Their interests may not match the crowd. Their questions may seem unusual. Their humor may go unnoticed. They may feel like they're speaking a language no one else hears. That feeling can become lonely, sometimes painfully lonely. Still, many highly curious minds eventually realize they were never broken. They were simply searching for conversations that existed beyond small talk. Here's the twist. None of these habits prove you're highly intelligent on their own. Plenty of people overthink. Plenty of people enjoy being alone. Plenty of people question authority. A single habit means very little. What matters is the pattern, a deep curiosity, a willingness to rethink, a mind that keeps searching even after everyone else has settled for simple answers. That's where these habits begin to tell a different story. Think about which of these habits you've spent years apologizing for. The overthinking, the quietness, the endless questions, the need for solitude. What if you've been judging yourself using standards designed for minds that simply work differently? Maybe the goal isn't to erase every unusual part of yourself. Maybe it's learning which habits actually hold you back and which ones reveal how your mind naturally works. Because intelligence isn't measured by how quickly you answer a question. It's revealed by the way you observe the world, the questions you keep asking, the ideas you refuse to stop exploring, and the quiet determination to keep learning, even when no one else notices. Some habits hold you back, others simply make you different. Understanding the difference might be one of the smartest things you'll ever do.